So this is PV from Kit Karma. M Monochrome and monochrome, and there's a reason why I'm not saying monochrome versus monochrome. This is not about whether the M9 is better or the M10 is better. I've seen a lot of videos going around saying guess which camera. I did it too, and then I just realized the futility of it, because with just editing I can make both pictures look exactly the same, so there's no point in going into that. And let's talk about the M10M first. Now I had a friend who loaned it to me for 3 or 4 days. So like they say, either you need to have, or I say, you need to have enough money to buy Leicas, or you need to have enough friends who have enough money to buy Leicas. So the gentleman who sold me this, which is the M9M, in absolutely pristine condition with a new sensor and a leather cover and all the works, he bought the M10M, and in due course we became friends, and he was kind enough to lend me. So thanks, Josh. So I shot both of these side by side. What did I really notice? First things first, with the M10M, fantastic handling. I mean, not that I don't like this guy, I love this guy. I'm totally in love with this camera. I bought it in 2015, sold it in 16, rebought it in 2020 because I just couldn't live without this guy. So I love this guy, I love the handling, but the M10M is slightly thinner, handles beautifully, a little faster than this guy, and the shutter, it's so silent, silky smooth. It's just absolutely brilliant. I was shooting some street, and nobody knew what I was doing. And I shoot from the hip. I don't necessarily take it to the eye. So, which will bring me to the next point. So I kind of was shooting, and nobody knew what was going on. Which brings me to the next point, is the EVF. Now the EVF is brilliant in the M10M and the LCD. Both are a far cry, much better from the horrible M9M LCD. And even the M240, which I had, I didn't like the LCD nor the EVF. It was a little sluggish and not very clear, not very good. So the M10M kind of covers all that. It's really nice. I had the M10 also before that, so I really love that. So that's really good. Megapixels, obviously 18 versus 40 plus. But the question is, do I really need it? I never felt the need. I've never felt the need for anything beyond 24 MP. 18 is fine. I shoot weddings, I shoot thousands of pictures. Editing 50 meg or files out of 50 meg sensors is a nightmare. I had the GFX 50R, I have the Hasselblad, so I shoot with them only if I'm doing portraiture sessions, 30, 40 pictures, 50 pictures, or if I'm just going on an outing and shooting some landscapes and stuff. I do not want to shoot weddings. So this is fantastic in that sense. Street, weddings, beautiful, works great. So of course you can, with 40 plus MP, you can crop till you drop. But again, as a photographer who shot for 30 years, I don't feel the need to crop anymore. I am absolutely happy with what this gives me, and the way I frame, I'm fine. CMOS versus CCD. Is there that little bit of advantage of the ability to pull highlights and push shadows? Yes, but when I bought this new in 2015, I was all over the place. I was blowing out highlights simply because I didn't realize how cruel the CCD was and how much of a problem it was. Not a problem, but a limitation it was. But since then, I learned. I learned very fast because I've shot on film, so I understand latitude and stuff. So I kind of understood I cannot have very high contrast, very very bright areas, very very dark areas. I can't pull and push too much. So I kind of adapted myself, and now I don't feel the need at all to do too much of pulling or pushing. So in that sense, I can shoot very very reliable pictures with this. So is CMOS an advantage? Yes, but do I again feel the desperate need for pulling and pushing? No. So I can live without CMOS, and I just adore this sensor. I think everybody who's used M9M, will swear by it. Even the M9, it's just a fantastic sensor. Now, if you tell me what's exactly better, I don't know. I can't explain, but I think people who've used it know. So if you haven't tried this, you should go ahead, rent or borrow from some friend who has a Leica and try this out. This is just amazing. So that's on that. High ISO. So the M10M goes up to 100,000. This guy tops at 10,000. Have I ever shot at insane ISOs? Never. Just once in my life of shooting hundreds and thousands of pictures, I've gone up to 40K, 40,000 with the M10, and it was good. But even that shot, could I have afforded to let that shot go? Yes, I could have. I just pushed it just to see, what happens, just for fun, and I got it pretty decent. But with this guy, I've gone up to 4,000. The picture was fine. I pushed the shadows a bit, so some, grains, very organic looking grains came. Nothing earth shattering. It didn't spoil the image. Similarly, I shot this and the M10M at 10,000, and again, I didn't fall off my chair looking at the M10 files. There were grains. This also had grains, and yes, M10M obviously was slightly better, but nothing, earth-shatteringly better. So that's that. So all in all, I think the point is that if you have, I had $8,000+ to splurge, would I have bought the M10M? You bet. I would have, but I would have still kept this guy. This is such a gorgeous camera. I just never want to let go of this, hopefully. So this is absolutely brilliant. So if I had the money, yes. Now, again, not a sour grapes thing, but am I desperately missing not having the M10M? No, because like I said, in pure terms of image quality, I think both are very, 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 very close. The only advantage being the megapixel and that slight, CMOS advantage of pulling and pushing. But if you know how to overcome those, you're fine. The only thing which is really, really nice is the handling, and EVF has its uses, right? I always pop on filters. One shortcoming of rangefinder is that when you pop the filter, polarizing filter especially, you don't know how much to rotate and where to keep it. So it really helps there. When you're using wide angle lenses, this is a 21mm. So if I'm using a 21mm lens, this doesn't have a frame line for 21mm. So there the EVF is definitely useful. When I'm doing long exposure and I pop on some neutral density filters, or if I'm doing infrared, all these cases EVF is useful. So EVF, yeah, it's probably something which, if that's the kind of photography I want to do with the monochrome, I would definitely dig. I would definitely want that. But if I'm doing street, if I'm doing weddings, if I'm doing documentary photojournalism, portraits, I don't need EVF. This is great. I think this is fine. So yeah, that's what it is. So it's not a this versus that, but I think while there are technological advantages and betterment in the M10M, I think the M9M still holds its own. It's still an absolutely stunning camera. So if your budget is around the $3,000 mark, you can still get some amazing M9Ms with the new sensor, and go for it. You'll never regret it. If you're a monochrome kind of guy, if you want a Leica, you want the Leica feel, you want to own a Leica, this is the best time, because once the M10M came, the prices started going down. A lot of people were getting rid of their M9Ms, and it's an absolute magical camera. So that's what it is. Let's see, in future I might just go for an M10M. But right now it's the Hazy, right? I'm waiting for the 907X to be shipped. So right now I'm going to play with that for a little bit, and who knows, I might fall for the M10M. But right now I think this is what I love. I don't think my love for this guy is going to ever kind of diminish. So that's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts, debate. If you don't agree with something, if you like something, just comment, subscribe. I'm going to have more videos on the Leicas and on the Hazis. And my Linhof, by the way, my large format Linhof is going for a service, so I might have a few videos on that once it comes back. So some interesting stuff happening here. So subscribe and hit the notification button. Thank you. Bye-bye.